Hello, welcome to another episode of Stache Sports. Last night, the Pittsburgh Penguins took on the Vegas Golden Knights in Las Vegas at 10 o'clock. This is a late West Coast game, and there's still about Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby. Evgeny Malkin only has to face one more game suspension for his high stick against the Buffalo Sabres that he got. He only has a one more game suspension that he has to face against the Buffalo Sabres. So he will be out against the Utah Mammoth when he play the Utah Mammoth on Saturday night. But the Penguins did not look good last night at all. I don't know what was up with the Penguins last night. It was because of the late game, or because they didn't have Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby. But they kept on turning the puck over a lot last night, which is not good. They haven't really been turning over the puck a lot recently, but last night they turned over the puck a lot, causing Vegas to score on easy chances. I know a lot of people were saying that Arthur Sheeloff didn't have a good game last night, which, yeah, he wasn't all that good last night because I watched the game. But it wasn't all him. The defense didn't show up last night and didn't play well. All these turnovers that led to points, that wasn't good either for the Penguins. I mean, there's a lot of turnovers last night in that game. A lot of sloppy play by the Penguins. I mean, they came back in the second period and only down by one, but the sloppy play led to a bad deficit and the Penguins losing 2 games. But luckily, the good thing is they're still tied, I'm pretty sure, with the New York Islanders, but they did not keep losing. They're in the wild card. They don't need to go to the wild card, because that's where it gets a lot of messy around with all the numbers and all the games played. But like I said earlier, let's hope these games early on in the year when the Penguins are playing hot, but lost the lead in the third period and lost the game, I hope they'll come back to bite us. But luckily, like I said earlier in the video, we get Evgeny Malkin back. Malkin will be back against Colorado, I'm pretty sure. I think he only has one more game of 5-game suspension after he slashes the Buffalo Sabres guy, but we'll see. But they need to play a lot better against the Utah Mammoth, no matter who's in net. They need to get over this game and not have it backfire on them, because that's not good to have always turnovers last night. There's a lot of turnovers. Even the announcers last night on the broadcast were saying, what, because I watch it on local TV, so I watch on S&P 360 up here, but even the local broadcasters saying, why are they playing like this? It's not how they usually play. We're turning the puck over a lot tonight, which is true. We had a lot of sloppy play. They need to start passing. When they're down, we need to start shooting a lot more and just shooting it on the net and not trying to find a perfect pass on a power play. But they're still fine and still in a decent spot right now to make it in the playoffs, but they need to keep winning. That loss was not good. They needed the 2 points, but oh well, it's a tough game. It was a tough game and tough loss for them. But hopefully they can bounce back against the Utah Mammoth, not today, but tomorrow. But we'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. I mean, it is nice to see Anthony Mantha get an assist and score, and Ben Kendall had a good goal, so it is nice to see them score. I mean, but the defense was tough. I mean, I know it is going to be rough now that we don't have our top superstars in, and this is the first time since like 2001, a long time, that we haven't had both of our superstars in playing at the same time, playing with one another. So I know that's going to be hard, and I know it's going to be really tough for the Penguins. And Vegas is no slouch, and they're trying to fight for a wild card too. So I don't give them that credit, but I get it. I know it's hard. I know Malkin's suspension did not come at the greatest time, and he probably should have done a lot better, because he's a grown-up and acted a lot better for his team and not take that slash when he's on the contract here, even though I think they're going to re-sign him next year to a new contract because he deserves it no matter what happens the rest of the season. But let's hope they can win back against Utah, because they don't need to mess around against Utah again. They need to beat Utah on Saturday, but we'll see. I mean, last night wasn't bad, but like I said, Sheeloff didn't look good, but Sheeloff didn't have help. Sometimes you have to have a lot of help in defense for a goaltender, and the defense did not look good last night in Vegas. And sometimes a couple of them were on Sheeloff, but a couple of them were fast breaks off of turnovers. But the Penguins had a lot of turnovers last night, like I said. They had a lot of turnovers last night and a lot of points on the fast breaks. But the Penguins got outskated by the Vegas Golden Knights and beat. But Vegas is a decent team, but hopefully they can win. But we'll see. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's not bad. Not on a bad streak right now after losing the top 3 superstars, but it's tough. They still don't know when Crosby's going to come back. I mean, he is practicing with the team, but they said 4 weeks since the winter break. Since the Olympic break. So it depends on how much longer he comes back. Since he's practicing now, hopefully he comes back sooner because we're also going to need him back in the fold for us Pittsburgh Penguin fans. We're going to need to make sure Crosby's back too. I mean, I'm pretty sure, if I heard it right, Evgeny Malkin only has one more game suspension right now. So that's good. Maybe they can beat Utah and then go on to Colorado, and then got Carolina. Carolina's going to be tough after that. But they have a couple of tough games coming up, so I'm pretty sure to get Malkin back from Colorado, which would be muchly appreciated to help the team morale and help boost the team spirits and make them play a little better. So we'll see. But I'm pretty sure to get Malkin back then, but we'll see. Also last night, the Boston Celtics came up close against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They lost it in the last couple minutes by a foul shot from SGA, got 2 points, and they tried to take a timeout, advance the ball, but they didn't have enough time to make a shot, and the shot didn't go in, so they lost by 2. But that's not bad. I mean, it's not bad. The Celtics are one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and the Eastern Conference in basketball, in my opinion, is wide open this year, so that's not bad. And we even have Jason Tatum, because they were resting Jason Tatum last night, so Jason Tatum didn't have, so they're not rushing Jason Tatum so they're not trying to rush Jason Tatum back too fast from the injury he just had from his torn Achilles in the last playoffs, so they rested him. But that's not bad having Jaylen Brown company only come up to 2 points. That was a good game near the end there on Prime. I was also watching that on my phone last night, but that was a good game on Prime last night, even though we lost. But I think we're going to get them back later on. But we'll see. The Celtics are looking good, even though they lost. Let's hope they can come back and do it good again. Let's hope the Celtics can keep on winning, because we need the Celtics to win. But, well, it's a tough loss. I mean, it's a tough loss, but let's face it, Oklahoma City is one of the top teams in the basic basketball in all of NBA right now, and the top team in the Eastern Western Conference are looking like a real strong team to repeat and make a dynasty out there in Oklahoma. So that's not a bad loss. I mean, it was a tough loss the way it ended on the foul shot. And I don't know if it was a good foul or anything, but that was a tough way to end on a foul shot. But we'll see. I mean, it was a tough way to end the game for the United. It was a tough way to end the game for Boston, but at least against the Western team. But we'll see. I mean, the Celtics did look good last night. I mean, they didn't even have Jason Tatum, and that was still amazing to me that Jason Tatum is coming back from his torn Achilles from the playoffs, so they're trying to rest him some games so they don't rush him back too fast. But it is nice. It is nice to see him come back. It is nice to see him come back. It is nice to see him come back, but let's see if the Boston Celtics are going to win again in the next game. They're on a 2-game losing streak, but when they need to start winning, they need to get back on the winning ways. But it was a tough loss last night, but the Celtics, I think, will bounce back. Let's hope the Penguins bounce back, too. It's a good thing, but I'm pretty sure that we only have one game left without Malkin, but we'll get more on that later. Last night, the Steelers lost a couple players and gained one player. We lost Connor Hayward to the Las Vegas Raiders, to a 2-year deal, I'm pretty sure, or whatever it was. So thank you for all the members, Connor Hayward. I'll remember the Pittsburgh Plunge, or the Pittsburgh Tush Push, whatever you want to call it. All the Pittsburgh Plunges, or Tush Pushes you called it last year, whatever you want to call it. Brotherly Shove, whatever you want to call it. When you and Cam Hayward did the brotherly shove to get us a couple yards on fourth down, or third down in inches, or to get us into the end zone. I remember those plays. I hope you have a good career, a good year in Oakland, and they make you and you have a good career in Oakland, and do good for the Oakland Raiders, or Las Vegas Raiders, I didn't mean to call them Oakland Raiders, but do good for Las Vegas Raiders. It will be tough missing you, but we do have Darnell Washington, and we have Pat Fryer. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in Oakland. Congratulations over there in Oakland. I hope you enjoy it. Las Vegas, I said it again. Because they were Oakland Raiders my whole life, besides a couple years ago when they moved to Vegas. So sometimes I get confused. Even the Stache Forest gets confused. But congratulations on the Las Vegas Raiders. I think you enjoy Las Vegas there. It's going to be interesting to see what you do now that you don't have your brother with you, and to see how good you can do. I mean, you were a good tight end, but you're a good fullback for the Steelers, and you did really good on that touch push with your brother. It was nice to see you get a couple touchdowns and to see you have time to play with your brother. It's always nice, if you can, to get the opportunity to play with your brother in the NFL or in football, if you love playing football and that's your family sport. It was probably not your parents, but now they're going to have to root against the Steelers if we play the Raiders, but we'll see. But congratulations on going to Las Vegas Raiders. I think you'll do good there. I mean, it's tough. You're one of the good players that we had, so I'm going to miss you. But thank you for all the members. Connor Hayward, number 83. I bet you and Cam. But we also kept Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward is a Steelers legend and will retire as Steeler, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Cam Hayward's going to go anywhere. And we'll see what happens to Cam Hayward in the future if he's a Hall of Famer. But that's sad to see his little brother Connor Hayward go. I mean, his little brother Connor Hayward, like I said, did the touch push in Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh plunge and had a couple good touchdowns and a couple good plays and will be missed. But congratulations on going to Las Vegas Raiders. Another player that the Steelers let go and then the re-sign of him is Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin is only 2 inches taller than me, even though my friend Robbie says I'm 5'5", I'm 5'7". Read my driver's license, dog. But whatever. Even though I'm 5'7", Calvin Austin is 2 inches taller than me. The whole reason the Steelers drafted him is because they wanted him to be like a Tyreek Hill. Because Tyreek Hill is so small, they wanted him to be a little explosive receiver. But it really, but let's be honest, it kind of really never worked out here. I mean, they were trying to make him a number 2, but he never really worked out as number 2. He might be better for the Giants as a slot receiver because he's shorter. Maybe they can find something with John Harbaugh over there to get him. I mean, he wasn't bad, but I don't think he lived up to all the hype that people were trying to make him like the next Tyreek Hill, if that's even reports are true. I don't know if he lived up to all the hype, but I mean, he was a good player. He did have a couple good passes and a couple of decent burns against defensive backs for the Steelers. He will be missed, but he only had 300 yards last year, and I really do think that the quick pro quo adding Michael Pittman Jr. is a lot better because Michael Pittman Jr. is 6'4" and not 2 inches taller than me, which I'm 5'7". I mean, I'm not trying to knock Calvin Austin. He's 5'9". I mean, there's some receivers that are short that are pretty good, like Tyreek Hill and some of these other short receivers that you see in the NFL. So I'm not trying to knock him. I mean, maybe the Giants might be able to find something out of him. I mean, he wasn't bad, but he's only on a 1-year deal. That's basically a penny deal in the NFL now because of all these big mega contracts that they get these NFL superstars. This deal is basically just a prove deal for the Giants, but we'll see. If they move him into the slot, he might be pretty good, but we'll see. We'll see what the Giants can do with him. It's going to be interesting to see what the Giants can do with him. But it'll be interesting to see what the Giants can do with him. I hope he does good in his career in the Giants because he was a good Steeler and I wish him nothing but the best. But his time with Steelers was up. We basically knew once they signed Michael Pittman Jr., I still think the Steelers need to draft receivers. I don't know if Roman Wilson's the answer or have Roman Wilson go against the rookie they draft, even if they draft him in the first round or later on. Because like I was talking to my friend Brandon, but I think this year's draft class is stacked receivers so you can go any round and have a decent receiver for the first slot receiver in this year's draft. Because we know number 1 right now, if they don't trade him, will be DK Metcalf. Number 2 will be Michael Pittman Jr. And third, we don't know yet. I know we have Darnell Washington and Pat Frymouth, and they could also be pass catchers. Enrique Dabo and Jalen Warren are going to have a strong run game this year. Our offense is going to be stacked. I wonder who the quarterback is. Maybe Will Howard to give him a shot, but we'll see. It's probably going to be Aaron Rodgers, but we'll get to that later on once we finally figure out who our quarterback is. But right now, we're still in the waiting game. Waiting is the hardest part. So we're still in the waiting game. But also last night, the Steelers lost Miles Killebrew. Miles Killebrew was a great Steelers special teams player. I remember all the blocks he had, and block punts and block field goals he had, and all the amazing plays he had on special teams. He was a real difference maker on special teams. He will be a tough pill to swallow and a tough player to replace. But he's reuniting with Danny Smith in Tampa. So Tampa Bay is getting him a real great special teams player in Miles Killebrew. It's going to be really tough. I'm going to miss Miles Killebrew. I remember all the blocks Miles Killebrew had and all the great plays Miles Killebrew played for us. But he's going to reunite with Danny Smith. He's going to reunite with Danny Smith. In Tampa Bay, because Danny Smith used to be the special teams coordinator for the Steelers, if you haven't watched these videos, and left this year to go be the new special teams coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's a good addition for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting Miles Killebrew. He'll be really deeply missed in Pittsburgh. I mean, Miles Killebrew is one of the greater Steelers special teams players, but we need to replace him now. But he'll be missed. But I really do like Miles Killebrew. Connor Hayward, you will be missed too. Congratulations on going to the Las Vegas Raiders and see what Mendoza can do if you guys are quarterback. If they get Mendoza. And also, it'd be nice to see Jackson Dart, what he can do, Calvin Austin, if he can wake up Calvin Austin, make Calvin Austin better, but we'll see. I don't know how good Calvin Austin's going to be, but we'll see what the Giants can do and Jordan Harbaugh. I mean, Jordan Harbaugh did go against him a couple times in the division, so now he had a Steelers receiver, so we'll see. He might be used to him and might be able to figure out stuff that the Steelers couldn't figure out with Calvin Austin, but we'll see. Also, last night, the Steelers signed Jaquan Brisker, a strong safety from the Chicago Bears. He's only 26. It baffles me, but he's 26 and the Bears let him go. I wonder what that means. I hope he's good. I mean, a lot of people in the Snidely Sports Call think he's going to be good, and maybe the Bears didn't want to pick up his option or re-sign him, but he's coming on a one-year prove-it deal for $5.5 million. That's a prove-it deal in my opinion. I mean, I know $5.5 million is a lot of money, but that's not like enough money. That's not like a big number of money like Dean's making $36 million for 4 years or whatever it is, or 3 years or whatever it is to play cornerback. Or like Brandon Pym is making $59 million, I think, for 3 years now to play play receiver. But 5.5 is not that bad. I mean, I was talking to my friend Ray, who's one of my barber friends, and he's a Bears fan. And he says he had concussion issues, so hopefully they can fix that. And he's not that good in coverage, but if they can fix that, that's not bad. Jaquan Brisker was a first-round pick, so maybe they can get him. I mean, that's good safety depth in our depth backfield, and it's not that much. And if he pans out, maybe they re-sign him. And another interesting tidbit about Jaquan Brisker is that he's a Pittsburgh boy. He went to Gateway Gators in Pittsburgh High School, and then he went to Penn State. And another interesting thing is, since he's 26 and really young, he played alongside Joey Porter Jr. at Penn State too. So old teammates get to get reunited now in Pittsburgh. So that's nice to see them reunited in Pittsburgh and see what he can do. I'm excited to see what Jaquan Brisker can do. Right now, I think the Steelers are really doing good in the secondary, because that's something they need really to fix on last year. And that's something the Steelers really need to fix on from last year is their secondary. And I think they're really doing good in the secondary additions. We've first got Jamel Dean, who's one of the best lockdown corners in the league last year. Joey Porter Jr. is one of the other best lockdown corners in the league, so that's two good corners. We got Asante Samuel Jr. Asante Samuel Jr. used to be really good for Chargers before he got an injury and wasn't all that bad last year for the Steelers, but he didn't play a whole year. So it'll be interesting to see what he does for a whole year. And Brian Echols was pretty good that piece last year too for the Steelers. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do underneath the new regime, a new calling by Patrick Graham. He used to be going for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, the Las Vegas Raiders, we got a defense coordinator from there. Well, he's going to be bad. Let's give a guy some credit. He did pretty good at Big Max Crosby, MTD Crosby, who doesn't like Baltimore. I mean, I don't blame him. I don't like Baltimore either. Never want to go to Baltimore. I don't blame Max Crosby for wanting to stay in Las Vegas. But anyway, Max Crosby, and he did pretty good last year, so we'll see what he does. Right now, in my personal opinion, I think Patrick Graham has the best defense that Patrick Graham has had his whole career on paper right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if he keeps Jalen Ramsey, which I think he will. But yesterday, since we signed Brisker, he's a safety, and Jalen Ramsey is playing safety. My brother asked me, what do you think is going to happen to Jalen Ramsey? I don't know. Maybe they keep him in strong safety or keep him in free safety area, or they can move him in a slot cornerback and put him in a slot. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of positions they move him around if they keep Jalen Ramsey when the year starts next year in September. But if they keep Jalen Ramsey, maybe they can move him to slot safety or move him to slot corner or strong free safety and move him to slot cornerback. But he used to play cornerback, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what Patrick Graham and the coaching staff has in play for him. Also, there's been a lot of reports that they might trade Patrick Queen. That's still going on, so I don't know if they're going to trade Patrick Queen because of the salary cap, but we'll keep you up to date on that. With all that being said, those are your newest updates for the Steelers. They got Jaquan Brisker, a hometown kid from the 412. It's nice to see him come back, even though it's a one-year prove deal. But we'll see. Maybe he pans down, maybe he doesn't. I mean, it's going to be tough. We'll see what he does. But I think it's a good addition to the backfield, and I think it's a steal in money-wise. But we'll see. I could be wrong, but I think it's a great addition, a great steal for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think Omar Khan is cooking yet again. Omar Khan, our general manager, is cooking yet again and making a great team. let's see. It's going to be interesting to see who our quarterback is. But like I said, I'll get to that in a later video. I'll get to that on a later video on who our quarterback will be. It's official. The Steelers signed Jamel Dean to a fair contract. They also signed defensive tackle Ezekiel Otomeow. However you say that. I mean, he was a good, I remember him, I don't know how to say his name, but he was a good defensive player. He was a good defensive tackle last year. A good backup defensive tackle for the Steelers. So that's good depth piece that they needed. And they get him on the cheap. But we'll see. Michael Pittman Jr. is also official. They traded a 6th-round pick for a receiver, number 2 receiver. That's good. That's a late 6th-round pick to get a legit number 2 receiver. That's going to be good. Finally, someone that's 6'4", so whoever the quarterback is, all we got to do is whoever the quarterback is, now got 2 6-foot receivers. Darnell Washington, that's a beast, and Pat Fryermuth right now, that's a beast too. So they have a couple of decent receivers and a couple of decent tight ends, so it'll be interesting to see. And also they got Rico Dabo. It's pretty interesting. I saw Rico Dabo is going to be wearing number 13 at today's Friday for the Steelers. I don't know the rest of the numbers right now for the new Steelers players. I just know his number. So I thought that was interesting. But now, with all these players leaving, the 2022 Steelers draft all left last night and went to different teams. I don't know what you someone to think about that, but that's an interesting fact. So today, the World Baseball Classic kicks off again. Thanks to Italy by winning a big game against Mexico, the United States didn't have to worry about math, so they officially moved on. And tonight they play Canada. But if they lose to Canada tonight, it's all over. So hopefully they don't mess around. They need to not mess around against Canada and need to be able to beat Canada tonight. I mean, Canada, I don't think it's that good of a baseball team, but the United States should be able to win. Like my parents were saying, the United States needs to win. They have a lot better team, and they have a lot better of a team than Canada does, and they are one of the top teams right now, besides probably maybe Japan or Dominican Republic. They're one of the top teams that make it all the way to the finals. So they don't need to mess around. They need to win. The manager needs to know about if they lose, they're done. They're done, but we'll see. I'll be watching the game tonight. I hope they win, but I think they will. I think that every game was a wake-up call, and I think to learn from that, but we'll see. Paul Skeens, I don't think is pitching tonight. Gamecast. Tonight's pitcher for the United States is Logan Webb, and it's Michael Soroka for Canada. Canada is 0-0, and so is the United States entering the next round. And I'm pretty sure tonight's single elimination, so they need to win. They don't need to mess around. Canada's last 5, they won against Cuba 7-2. They won against Puerto Rico, I guess, 7-3-2. They lost against Pan, and they lost against Mexico 10-3. They beat Colombia, I think that is, still out 8-2. But we'll see. But not bad, but the United States needs to keep winning. I mean, they have all the superstars on their team, so they have no excuses why not to win tonight. Canada, this isn't the hockey. So we'll see. I know Canada's no team to sleep on, but the United States doesn't need to mess around tonight. The United States needs to win. They need to make sure that they put to bed any expectations of them slouching. Put it out to bed. Logan Webb needs to pitch well tonight, and if he doesn't, they need to have a good bullpen. They don't need to let up a lot of runs, because like I said, I'm pretty sure tonight's single elimination, and they don't need to lose. Because if they lose, they're done. And that'll be really disappointing in the baseball world, because of all the hype they had around the United States. And we won't be able to see Paul Skeens pitching every game for the United States, because they won't be pitching tonight, since Logan Webb's pitching and starting. But let's hope the United States can win tonight. I think they will. And I think they will win a big game tonight against Canada. I think they're motivated now, and they're not going to take any teams for granted. I'm not trying to say like they took Italy for granted. Italy's one of the good teams. They're in the next round. and we might have a rematch against them again because they are pretty good this year. So I'm not trying to knock Italy, but I'm just saying, with all the stacks the United States has in baseball, the United States should be able to beat any team besides maybe. I mean, I know it's going to be closer in these games now, but they're not playing some of these teams that don't have that many superstars. But I don't know how many big Canadians there are in baseball. I mean, there might be some. We got to watch the game tonight to see. But I don't know how. I haven't really been watching Canada's baseball team to see how good they are. But I think the United States will win tonight easily. But we'll see. I know I said that against Italy, and they didn't do that because they took it for granted, and there's reports that the States were late, or the manager thought they already moved on to the next round, which are in tonight. But now let's hope they get the right ship on track because they'll need to be losing tonight. Like I said, tonight's a game they need to win. Also, we got Dominican Republic and Korea. I think Dominican Republic wins in that game. But we'll see. I think the United States wins the big one. I think they win 8-3. What did I say? 8-3 tonight. But they win the big game. I got today is Friday. My Friday NBA basketball picks by Stache Sports. If you bet, you bet against me. If you don't, you don't. If you have a betting problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. This is a joke. But if you do call it. But I think the Pistons are going to win tonight. I think the Pistons are going to win a close game against the Memphis Grizzlies. I think the Knicks are going to beat the Pacers. I think the Suns will beat the Raptors. I think the Cavaliers will beat the Mavericks. And I think James Harden had a big night for the Cavaliers tonight. I think the Rockets beat the Pelicans. I think the Timberwolves beat the Warriors. I think the Warriors beat the Timberwolves. I think the Trailblazers beat the Jazz. And the Bulls beat the Clippers. But we'll see. Those are my picks for basketball. They're playing. I think the Kings beat the Islanders. We need the Kings to beat the Islanders if we're Penguin fans. We need to be rooting hard for the Kings tonight because the Kings are on the West Coast. So we need the Kings to win tonight as Penguin fans. And I think the Kings do it tonight. And don't get the Penguins stay pretty after that tough loss last night against Las Vegas Raiders. Or Las Vegas Golden Knights, excuse me. And I think Connor McDavid has a big gamer for Oilers tonight. So they were betting on the hockey. You should bet Connor McDavid have 2 more goals tonight against the St. Louis Blues. But I think the Kings win. But right now, I've been watching a lot of college basketball. In the meantime, of watching baseball. Last night, Florida State lost by 1 point to Duke. I don't know if they're going to make it to March Madness. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I do think UCF should make it to March Madness no matter what happens. I think UCF has a good record this year and only have 10 losses, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting if Florida State and UCF make it or one of them makes it. But I think UCF should make it, but we'll see. Selection Sunday is coming up, and we'll talk more about all the teams that make it into March Madness and who I think could win it later on in next week's videos. But we'll see. Florida won a good game today, 71-63 against Kentucky, and move on. Florida's looking pretty good after winning the college basketball championship last year. They're looking like a team that might be able to repeat. Who knows? North Carolina got upset by Clemson last night. That was a wild game. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what teams make it. Does Miami Ohio make it to the March Madness bracket or not? Since they lost a game now. Here's Stache Sports college basketball picks on who makes it to the next round or who wins the championship tonight if there's a championship game. Who makes it to the next round in Miami or Virginia. I think Miami upsets Virginia. I think Duke beats Clemson to make it to the championship game, and it's Duke and Miami in the championship game for the ACC final. I think Oklahoma beats Arkansas. Arkansas beats Oklahoma. Florida beats Kentucky. I think, that's a close game. Wisconsin is beating Illinois right now. That might be an upset. I think Wisconsin wins. I think Vanderbilt beats Tennessee. I think St. John's beats Seton Hall. Purdue, Nebraska. I think Purdue upsets Nebraska because Purdue's a better basketball team, I think. But Nebraska's not bad this year. Nebraska's a pretty good team this year, but I think this is going to be a close game tonight at 6:30, but I think Purdue wins. I think Arizona beats Iowa State. The interesting about Arizona and Iowa State is in the Big 12. The Big 12 used to have a glass court that was like a video screen. They can see like previous plays on and other stuff. But I think I read a lot of reports that it's slippery, and I saw a report late last night and today that they're finally going to go back to the wooden courts in the Big 12 tournament play, which I think is good. I don't know why they did that glass thing. That glass court failed, but I don't know why they did that. But I think Arizona wins tonight. I think Alabama beats Ole Miss. I think UConn beats Georgetown. I think Michigan State beats UCLA. I think Houston beats I think Kansas upsets Houston tonight. You heard it here first. And Michigan beats Ohio State today. But those are my picks for right now on Stache Sports. If you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what other teams make it to March Madness this year and to see what other teams can make it in the big dance. But I'll go over my bracket and see if you guys want to do bracketology with me too when the brackets come out next week. All the teams are announced on Sunday, and we're going to have a couple playing games, so the games don't really start until next Thursday for college basketball. We'll keep talking about that later on. But if you're interested in doing a bracket, let me know down below in the comments. Please let me know down below. But today I saw reports that Pitt's going to retain basketball coach, the men's basketball coach. I don't know if that's good. He hadn't really been doing good the last couple of years for Pitt, so I don't know if that's good. But whatever, if they do retain him, they need to give him a lot of money and need these boosters to step up and give him some money so he has enough money to spend in the transfer portal, and they don't need to keep messing around. But we'll see. But we can get more into that later on in the video. And tomorrow we'll be talking about the Penguins and hopefully talking about a good United States win tonight against Canada. And talking more about college basketball, which I really love college basketball and love March Madness. So thank you for watching my sports video episodes today. And talk about if the Steelers hire anybody else. But right now, I think the Steelers backfield is stacked. I can't wait to see what they do with the secondary this year. I think it's really good. Jamel Dean. You got Darnell Savage. Darnell Savage was the first round pick, but it's a great depth piece. And it's going behind the radar, even behind the radar on Stache Sports. I mean, Darnell Savage played for the Jaguars last year. What's decent of him? It's a decent backup piece for us, but we'll see. But this is Stache Sports signing off. Thank you for watching my videos.